I like this principle of fake it till you make it. So whenever in my career someone has said, "Hey, can you do it?" I often used to say like, "Yeah, I can," and then like I'd go home and be like, "Can I? I don't know." But like no one heard me say that. Next day, I'm running a much larger team. And then I'm like, oh shoot, what mistakes am I making? I made plenty of mistakes, right? Like, in fact, the most egregious like mistake that I ever made in my management career was when my team size was only three. Like I still remember when like in my team of three, one of them said, I want to leave this team and go to some other team. And after a while, I realized that their main reason was that they were unhappy. I didn't have the self-awareness to realize that I was micromanaging this person because they were not doing well. I was treating their performance as a reflection on my very small team and was trying too hard to make that 33% of my team also look successful because I thought that reflected poorly on me. And instead of letting that person fail and learn, I was trying to micromanage. And that just got to this person, and then they decided to leave. And I was left with a two-person team. No book has ever told me how to do that, but I just learned through failure in that instance. The other thing is I actually have a very specific recommendation on management and scaling up. There's this podcast called HBR IdeaCast. It used to be my favorite podcast while driving before I switched to like filmmaking podcasts. But I still like listen to HBR IdeaCast from time to time. It's a very good resource. They've made it all available so you can listen to a whole bunch of talks by, industry experts on management and leadership and those who know the difference between those two. And, like listening to them, a big part of that is inspiration rather than learning. But like podcasts can also challenge you, specifically on like growing from 3 people to 200 people now. I feel like at every order of magnitude, my job has effectively changed, even if my role hasn't. The things I used to do at 3 was very different from what I used to do at 10, was quite different when I used to do at 30. So like roughly speaking, I actually think like my most distinct points of growth have been at a 3x scale. So 3, then 10, then 30, then 100, and now like 200. Like at this point, 200 versus 300 doesn't matter. I think the techniques are going to be very similar to run the teams, but I do think like at each of these steps I had major learning experiences of like how do I set up my org, like what challenges do we face, what is the relationship between me and my reports, what is the division of labor between the group of us.